He's trying. You can see him trying to play the modern game. You can see him try. You could see on OKC, Carmelo would take a long two, and he would, like, have self-reproach about it right away. Like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. He knows he's supposed to get behind that line. No long twos. But the muscle memory that this guy has developed since he's a baby, basically, to become one of the most well-rounded scorers, not offensive players, scorers we've ever seen, could score from anywhere. That muscle memory, he has to think too much to get out of it. So it slows him down at a time in his career where he's already slowed down. And he's terrible defensively. We saw what happened to OKC's defense as soon as he left. They became one of the best defensive teams in the league this year without Carmelo. We saw what happened to Houston's defense as soon as he left, which coincided with Bizdelic getting there, which is not coincidental, by the way, that Bizdelic got there and got rid of Carmelo. I think he's going to make the Lakers' defense worse. He's not a catch-and-shoot three-point guy. He's like among the worst in the league at it. I'm sorry, I think it's over for Carmelo.
I don't think it's over. I don't think it's over, and I think that people have been totally disrespectful towards Melo. Melo is who he is. He's a scorer. He's not somebody that is the all-around talent that LeBron is. He was never the Greek freak. He's not anybody like that. But this is a career 24-point-per-game scorer. Now, over the last 2 years, he's averaged shooting 40% from the field. That's not been great in Oklahoma City and then the 10 games he played in Houston. But that Houston situation was set up to fail. Bizdelic was gone. D'Antoni didn't really want him. They were willing to settle for him or what have you. When they let him go, you know, they didn't even consult with Chris Paul about it, which shows you how things can be with Chris Paul in Houston unless he gets himself healthy. In the end, what happened is that LeBron, to remind the audience of what I talked about months ago, LeBron went to the Lakers organization. LeBron obviously was interested in having Melo. Magic and Pelinka ain't interested in giving up forfeiting any guaranteed contracts in order to get Melo. But if there's a way for them to fit him in, LeBron wants that entertained. And the biggest reason LeBron feels that way is because he feels his boy is being smeared. He knows that what Melo is and what Melo is not. He told Melo, you got to get in shape, you got to be ready to go, which is why we see video of Melo out there training and what have you, trying to keep himself in shape because he knew that somebody was going to pick him up probably around All-Star break or whatever the case may be. The two ideal spots for Melo, in my opinion, Max, are L.A. and Philly. In Philadelphia, I spoke to Brett Brown just the other day. Brett Brown told me Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid are going to be the focal point of their offense. Obviously, Ben Simmons is the ultra playmaker, but not a shooter. You got Redick. You know what he can do, but you need a bigger
Carmelo's
body.
Interesting in Philly.
You need a bigger body who can shoot. But L.A. with LeBron, to me, is an ideal spot above all else because of what LeBron brings to the table.
What does Carmelo do? Like, let's talk about what Carmelo can still do as a player, okay? I believe if he's coming off the bench, he could be the focal point of a half-court post-up kind of set that you might want to run sometimes if you want to slow the game down. If you're having a hard time finding buckets in transition, if your defense isn't that great, you just want to, you know, then Carmelo can be deployed in that very limited way.
Yeah, but
I don't see him working in the starting lineup.
You're being a bit scientific about it because you allude to the muscle memory element. I am telling you that assuming you're right about that, there's only one player that I've religiously stated could potentially overcome that, and that's LeBron James. Now, Chris Paul had a chance, but Chris Paul obviously has had questionable health, so he's in and out and what have you, and that's counterproductive to anything, to the continuity that you would need for Carmelo Anthony. When you look in Philly, here's why I don't like Philly better than L.A. Even though Ben Simmons doesn't shoot perimeter jump shots, we know Jimmy Butler's going to. We know Joel Embiid is going to want the shots. When J.J. Redick is on the floor, you got to get the shots. And from a systemic perspective, considering the fact that Brett Brown is from that Greg Popovich tree, you know that there's not going to be but so many opportunities for Melo. Whereas in L.A. with Luke Walton's system, the up-tempo, with LeBron running the show, knowing his man never having played with them, having something to prove, with all of that coming together in L.A., I think that's the perfect situation for LeBron.
I agree. It's the perfect situation for Melo.
Right.
Is it good for the Lakers?
I don't think it's bad for the Lakers.
Well, like, you know, one of the things that the Lakers have going for them right now with LeBron's injury is the amount of responsibility on Ingram and Kuzma. Much like Tatum and Brown last year when Gordon Hayward went down. They got more burn, and as a result, they developed into better players because they got more minutes in meaningful games, and they developed more chemistry, and they took more responsibility. And they regressed a little bit when Gordon Hayward came back and took those minutes. Kuzma, we all know, can score. Ingram has made real strides this year. These are and the result, it's a result of the fact that they're getting that burn. All of a sudden, those minutes are coming from Ingram and Kuzma to go to Carmelo, who's not an efficient scorer.
Brandon Ingram can play. I never, ever want anybody to believe I'm implying that he can't play and he can't be an asset for various teams. I think for this Lakers team, he's the wrong fit. That's why I was screaming about Bradley Beal earlier on in the season if highway robbery could take place, which it wasn't going to. And when I think about Bradley Beal, I'm sorry, not Bradley Beal. When I think about Brandon Ingram, yes, he's shooting 46% from the field. He's shooting 30% from three-point range. He's not a guy. He's there with the Lakers playmaking, playing some point guard at times or whatever. No, when LeBron comes back, I've religiously stated, remember when I said you got to get Josh Hart and Kuzma into that starting lineup? They did that. They made a run before LeBron got hurt. You add Melo, I believe, me personally, with LeBron, not Melo on his own as an individual against Brandon Ingram, because I understand Brandon Ingram's young, fresher legs, plays better defense. He's more valuable. But with LeBron,
right. This is where I could see it.
Melo's a better fit.
This is where I could see it.
I think he's a better fit.
In fact, and I doubt it now, the way this season has gone and the way the market seems to be going, if in fact the Lakers could pull a trade deadline deal involving Brandon Ingram, so if he's shipped out, right? Then Carmelo Anthony would be a way to replace some of those minutes.
But why would you doubt that it could happen? I mean, this is the time of year when it usually does, is what I'm saying.
In other words, who are you going to get who's an upgrade over Ingram that you could land for a package that involves Ingram, considering that Lonzo is hurt?
You're looking at it wrong, and here's why. Because you shouldn't be looking at it that way in terms of players. You should be looking at getting rid of some money, clearing some cap space. Because you got to remember, with Melo, he's not going to compromise that. But when you swap a trade for Ingram, you might want to get somebody in the last year of their deal for the same amount of salary or what have you. So you don't really need another player. What you need is to make sure you don't compromise your cap space. You let Melo play instead of Ingram.
So what do you
in that system?
So Ingram sits on the bench while Melo's in the game?
To be continued.